I am suicidal. As I said, just repeating myself over and over and over again. Not afraid. You keep threatening. You carry on. You report my live streams. Plaster your name everywhere. So what? Report me then. Report me. Report me for anything. Report me for telling the truth. Report me for saying that you pushed me to suicide. Go on then, report me. Report me. Go on, call the police. We have to think of poor Darren Stewart Webb's feelings, even though he was arrested in his friend's flat that I've been squatting in, and she didn't even know that, and she didn't know that I was still there. She thought that I was only there for a few days in the summer. I'd been there for months. So what? So what? So what, Darren Stewart Webb? There's only one Darren Stewart Webb in Eastbourne. The only person who, off his own back, took a caring role for care for the carers and made out that I was an attention seeker and asking for help. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. I asked for help from the public services. You came into my life as a friend. And then it became more than just a friendship. Intense. We were going to move in together, but you were only going to do it as a carer. Is that right? We were going to move in together, but only you as a carer. Is that right? Darren Stewart Webb? Not as a boyfriend and girlfriend. What did your dad say to you? What made you say that my mother wouldn't be proud of me? What made you say that, Darren? My mother, who cried for me, saying how mature I am. And she told me she didn't have long to live. My soulmate mother. And what did your mum do? What did your mum do? Say she worries about you. Well, I can see why. Saying how wonderful you are, that you were sent to me. I'm not even allowed in your fucking flat. My stuff is in your flat. My stuff is now also in your friend's flat. How fucking about that? What the fuck is anyone doing about anything? Fuck all. I know. Should I just wrap this round my neck? Why don't you call the fucking police and say, "Oh, she's attempting suicide. Oh, she's attention seeker." Fuck you. Fuck you all to fucking hell. No one does anything about anything. The typical phrase that Annette Crosby used in this country with everything that my mother said. Your mother said to me what my horrible godmother said. Oh, well, my mum died. So, lots of people's mums die. A lot of people don't have the relationship that I had with my mother. We were like that. What is it? Jealousy? Is it bitterness? What is it, Darren? You fucking tell me. Because I've got some gifts that I made for your mother and nurses who nursed my dying mother at the hospice. I was bullied out of the hospice. What have you been doing, Darren? You've been spreading your evil seed everywhere. Everywhere I've gone in this town, people have treated me like I'm a disease. What the fuck have you fucking done, Darren Stewart Webb, the only Darren Stewart Webb in Eastbourne? What have you done? Don't send me any more threatening voice messages. What have you done? And why did you lie to me about your mother wanting to see me in December? Out of guilt, was it? Because I found a Christmas card? Not addressed to fucking me, no. Just to you, saying how wonderful you are fucking helping people. So you think Dan will take a phone call from you, Dan from Police Abusing Powers, who's been abusing me, along with the police. The police have also been abusing me. But Dan said, you should be able to go in Darren's flat. You said a conversation must have taken place. What conversation took place? What conversation took place, Darren? Why did this Tina Chave suddenly change towards me? It's more than just a little bit coincidental, isn't it? That everywhere I've gone, even the hospice, to ask nurses who nursed my fucking dying mother. I don't even swear by nature, but I've never known so much evil. I have never known so much evil. And people saying that they'll pray for you, and your friend at the food bank who's friends with your parents praying for me. And then when I play him the recording of a criminal on a tag threatening to beat me up in my council home, he says, no, your life is not in danger. And he hung up on me, and he used the social engineering phrase, which funnily enough, Dan used in a text message last night to try and trigger me, because he's got nothing better to do than to watch my live streams in the early hours and tell me to fucking go to bed when Dan has had strokes. And I'm suffering this corruption and the police and everything. What is fucking going on in these heads? What's going on in them? You know what? Juliet was right. I'm going into a very, very, very dark place. They call it the dark night of the something or other. Juliet said Christians, people with Bibles, are in it for their own ends. Yeah, Steve Churchill has proved that. Just look on YouTube. Just have a look. All you have to do is put in the search engine, phone call to the MP office, Steve Churchill. Saying he'll pray for me, then I play him the recording of the criminal, the vile creature threatening to beat me up. No, your life is not in danger. And he hung up on me. You think that's fucking normal, Darren? You think that's fucking normal? You want to normalize it? Oh, well, he couldn't cope with stress. No one can cope with stress. There's always an excuse, isn't there? There's always an excuse. Like Eben's made an excuse for you, Darren. Oh, he's got impairments. So what? Abuse is abuse in a court of law. If you took that caring role, you took it. And even if I'd asked you to be a carer, even if I had asked you to be my carer, you still abused me. You still abused me. You neglected me. You left me to sleep rough. It's your choice. You're a grown man. No one's telling you, no one's forcing you to do anything. Abusing someone is a serious crime. Emotional abuse. Think how fucking wonderful I fucking feel. When my mother died, I was going through domestic abuse, had no friends to turn to, narcissistic sisters, no one helping me, no one doing anything, and a creep came to my mother's funeral and then abused me. A piece of shit called Joseph Vulnerabel, who is in a relationship with your friend, your vulnerable friend. They're attracted to vulnerable people, aren't they? Because he told me that he found his wife at the bottom of the stairs after she took an overdose. One of his ex-wives. I text my mother to say I was going out with someone I met at the comedy club, and she said, I said, oh, he's been married twice. She said, do be careful. And I spent time with that piece of shit because my eldest sister was being so controlling. She wouldn't fucking let me visit my mother in the hospital unless she was present. And even my mother's best friend knew that. But apparently she's got cancer. But I'm being gaslit by my horrible godmother, aren't I? Because with what she has to say about you, Darren, she's saying, why would he be with you unless it's to abuse you? Why would a man be with you unless it's to abuse you? There's nothing in you though, Darren. You're just stuck on using our Heavenly Father's name whilst you do the devil's work, and you know it. That's why I never could. That's why I can't be bothered to read the Bible. Why would I be bothered? Why would I be bothered? All the hypocrisy. My godmother was so horrible. The pain. I feel like I've been knifed and knifed and knifed and knifed by all these narcissists. 6 months after my mother died, I took an overdose. She tried to look like she was helping me, like you. Tried to make it look like she was helping me. And then a couple of months later, well, with time, putting me down. Look at the way you're living. You're like a child, putting me down. Not saying to me, oh dear, look at the state of this flat. Are you struggling? Because my condition is actually on the NHS website, but it's been undiagnosed. Leslie Alloway, the food bank advocate, said it's a form of OCD, but it's not been diagnosed. Oh, because they're all a bunch of shills. Not even my GP wants to listen to anything. It's all a scam. It's bollocks. Years ago, a woman on the Rasted stand, Rasted, the animal care centre where they looked after our Geordie years ago. This woman on the charity stand for Rasted, she said, it's a scam. It is. It's not just a scam, it's human trafficking. But your mum doesn't care. Not even a how is she, not a happy 40th birthday. So, do I need to write a suicide note for Juliet? And say, you're now mum next of kin. Could you get Sue Pocklington? Could you go and fish out the gifts that I made, that I crafted for your mum? Because they're still for her, you know. You left me to sleep rough. You all lied to me, Darren Stewart Webb and your mum. Darren Stewart Webb and your mum, Jill, you lied to me. You lied. I let you come to my mother's resting place. You've destroyed me. You fucking destroyed me. And all you can do is not feel bad, but send me these fucking voice messages like a fucking arsehole. This is what you can do after everything you've done to me.
Minutes long. Listen, I'm going to say this one more time, Ronnie. I'm asking you now to stop doing this on your videos. I'm not against you putting up stuff on YouTube, but when you keep putting my name up, that I've got a problem with. There's no reason for you to do it, Ronnie.
Every reason.
This is not stuff that you're submitting, again, in some kind of court case or something like that, right? I've reported this because I want you to stop doing this, Friday. I want you to stop. This is what you're doing is a form of harassment for me. You're doing this because you know you're doing this, you know what you're doing, and you keep producing it, you keep repeating it. You keep ignoring what I'm asking you not to do. So that is a form of harassment. Okay? I have no idea why you want to keep, why you keep turning on me like this. I don't know why you want to keep doing this, Barney, because it's not going to help anything. It's not.
You're not.
I can't believe that you allow it to just degenerate into this so quickly. I can't. And if you keep doing this, Barney, then obviously what am I supposed to do? Am I simply just supposed to stay quiet and hope it blows over? No, I'm not. You keep creating, Barney, and I've had enough of it. It's affecting me in my head and in my health and everything. You know that. I've told you this. And I've asked you to stop. This message from...
See? There's nothing in you that feels bad about what you've done to me. The other one was a shouting text as well. Voice message. Don't feel bad at all. You don't feel bad. You chose to take a caring role and you made out that I asked for it. You did everything off your own back. You left me to sleep rough in a dangerous place. You used the caring role because I don't know how they trained you at Care for the Carers. Probably because you know the game is up and you could end up in prison. Because at the drop of a hat, you only had to call the police if I disagreed with you. If I disagreed with you on the Bible or anything like that, you'd have me removed by the police. You've used the Bible. You've got your jollies out of this. You're nothing more than like a paedophile priest. You're using the Bible for your whatever it is that you get your kicks out of for feeling good, but doing evil on the side. Because people who use the Bible and use scripture and use Christianity to abuse a vulnerable person to make themselves feel powerful. Got the police on side. It's all about poor Darren Webb all of a sudden, because you've emotionally manipulated me into thinking that I was the one in the wrong, where it was Juliet who said he should be making you feel bad about where you snatched a knife from me and you needed stitches and then I stabbed myself through the arm. Oh, you couldn't cope. You couldn't cope. You couldn't cope. You couldn't cope. I've spoken up for you. You've lied. You lied. You lied. You lied. You lied. You lied. You endlessly lied to me. You lied about your mother. You lied about everything. We were going to move in together. And you went down to see Sue Pocklington at Humphrey Co. She changed towards me. She said, "Can I ask you why he was arrested?" She said, I think you should keep some distance from him. Because she threatened me with police one time. I'd never seen her like that before. I hadn't seen her like that before I was with you. Everywhere I've been, St. Wilfrid's Hospice where my mother died, everyone acting demented. You watched the live stream, evidence of licensee attacking me. You didn't ask if I was okay. No. And the night that Sherelle Clark, you think you don't know what being a carer is, let alone a boyfriend. The night that Sherelle Clark, not the night that she had drunkenly assaulted me, but the night she harassed me in the street, you screamed and shouted at me in your flat. So I deliberately walked out so that everyone in the flat would only hear the sound of a man screaming, because you wanted me to react so that you could then say, she made me do it. That is a 5-year prison sentence, Darren. Oh, I've got headaches. You know I'm not well. You know I'm not well. You know I'm not well. I'm trying to stay alive to do one last thing on this earth. And that is to speak out on the street about what's been happening to me over 6 years. Because I cannot, and I don't want to believe, but the truth of the matter is that everyone's saying what I already know, but I don't want to believe it. And that is that you are an abuser, Darren Stewart Webb. You are an abuser. And that's why you haven't had a relationship before. Not because you've got special needs, but because you're an abuser. You're an abuser. I lost my mother. You walked into my problems and I said how wonderful you are, and I meant it. I meant it. And then you started subtly abusing me bit by bit by bit by bit until your mask slipped off. You were deliberately neglecting me. You were all full on at the start. It's cowardly. You're a coward. You're a coward. Full on at the start. We're going to move in together. Then making out she's got mental problems. She needs help. She's been asking people for help. She does this. She does that. And then quickly walking off. And then coercing me so that I would kneel in the middle of the road, wanting a car to hit me. And you're running away from me in the same way that you did after I stabbed myself in the arm. You ran away from me. You even made the hotel porter make it look like I was crazy and you were running away from me. Again, I tried to walk out in the road. It's coercive control. It's emotional abuse. Thousands upon thousands of women kill themselves because of what you have done to me.